Alright, let's chat a little bit. So, some of you may know, I grind the game a lot. I have 100% completion of this game until any new chapter or content comes out creating an achievement. I maintain steady 100% completion of this game. So, and I've also got Devotion 20, which means I'm not new. I've played this game for an extreme period of time on both PlayStation, on PC. You know, if you go back and watch the older videos on the channel, they're all me on my PlayStation playing with my buddies. So I have a lot of experience playing this game. Now, I have a few gripes, and I figure why not mention it? Nobody's going to listen. Changes won't be made. Suggestions won't be taken into account because we know behavior only listens to the loudest voice. But one part that I'm going to bring up in this, I feel all of us could get behind, and we'll just kind of get we'll just kind of get into it. Now, nothing's ever scripted. I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head. Call it a rant, if you want. A ramble. Just a guy spitballing, throwing some ideas out there. So, the first thing that I'm irritated with, and it's not the message system, I'm just going to claim it to claim it. So, that's done. The first thing that I kind of am annoyed with is this. I don't need to see this animation every single time I check the Rift. Now, granted, this pain point has been made less of an issue with the new system showing when you complete a challenge and showing it at the bottom of your screen with what you've unlocked, your blood points that you got, your rift fragments, whatever. But if let's say I'm just starting the rift or I've been playing for a little bit and I want to see what my next unlock is, because I'm not a person who's going to study what I'm going to get. And I say what I'm going to get because I always complete the rift. There has not been a time that I can remember in the last couple of years where I haven't finished any rift that I've started. So I will always 100% the rift. I'm a completionist when it comes to this game. But anytime I want to look at the rift, this plays over and over again. You can see what we've done in this game. You can track what we do. When we hit this stage, just stop. Just really just stop doing that rollout animation. You can keep track of it. You don't progress all the way back to the very beginning and scroll from tier 1 all the way up to tier 100. Just stop. When we've hit this point and it's the infinite, amazing amount of blood points that we get for grinding this game and doing all the achievements in this game, just stop that animation. Please. To me, I find it extremely annoying. There's absolutely no reason for it. You just kind of want to show off you've made something happen. And congratulations, you've made the game. We know you can make things happen. We also know you can make that animation stop playing. It is 100% pointless. It does not need to happen every single time I open the Rift. Granted, yes, it's on me if I choose to open it. I don't absolutely have to look at the Rift, but that is annoying. My next issue, the quest system. I kind of touched on it before. I don't know if I posted the video. The last couple of weeks have been absolutely hectic in real life. So if I posted something when this came out, when I checked it on the PTB and went over it, and I'm kind of repeating those pain points, that just means it was something that I thought of before. It still stands. So back on me being a completionist, I do every challenge in the game. If it's survivor only, I do it. If it's killer only, I do it. It's part of me enjoying the game. I find it fun. You know, these challenges are so basic that it doesn't require you to switch up killers. Granted, for inclusion, that's great because you can do it with anybody, but you have taken the originality and fun out of the system. I used to love the old daily rift. I mean, the old daily challenges. What did it want me to do today? What did behavior, in their infinite wisdom, decide that I need to do today? Do I need to uncloak and hit somebody multiple times? Do I need to take somebody off the hook as Jane Romero? Do I need to slap a sable on the ass as Dwight? You get the point. There were original challenges tied to specific survivors and killers, which made it fun, and it would make people have to get out of their normal wheelhouse and play something else if they absolutely wanted to, or not do a challenge that day, wait until the next day, trash can it, and hope that something else popped up. Not everybody would want to play as Hag. Not everybody wants to play as the Plague. You know, but it made it so it was different. You had the opportunity to play as a different survivor, a different killer, and that is gone. All of that is gone. Like, none of this took me an extreme period of time. The hardest part in me doing these challenges is just finding the free time in the day outside of work and family to focus on knocking these out. On the killer side, tending with the queue times. Today they weren't horrible. We're looking 15 to 20 minutes in between matches. And yeah, that's a bit excessive, but every so often I get lucky and get a 10-minute queue. And that's only going to get worse when Springtrap comes out. So this will date the video as to, when I'm bringing it out because the PTB has happened. We know that killer is on the way. Everyone is going to want to play that killer. I'm going to want to play that killer just to get the achievements. I don't know what they look like yet, but you can guarantee I'll be grinding until I get all of the achievements that pop up. But none of these challenges are hard. In the last match, I on purpose only did what I needed to do to get the daily challenges done and finish off the Chaos Shuffle because I only had a couple more hits that I needed to make. I killed two. Didn't really focus on the other ones and let them go. There was no point. I now had every single challenge done. There was nothing more to progress to. So if a couple of people got out, it didn't matter. I've gotten what I'm going to get out of this system. Now, the reason I say that is because when I do not have an active challenge on either side of this game, I get no progress towards the rift. In the past, when we played a match, win, lose, or draw, you got progress towards the rift, so it gave you something to keep grinding to. Now, this 5,000 that I am going to get every time I do the challenges for the next 47 days is another thing that absolutely pisses me off and irritates me to no end. This is pathetic. Blood points are not hard to get unless you play killer. The survivor side always has the bonuses. You get way more points playing. And that's just my personal experience. That's my opinion. If I need to grind blood points out for anything, which that's very few and far between these days, with the exception of, P3 and Freddy, which I guarantee I'll be over 5 million when Springtrap comes out. You know, and forgive me, I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. So if I say a name wrong, it is what it is, okay? But back to the point. 5,000 for the next 47 days for every single challenge I do outside of the little rewards when the challenges refresh and I get a new set that I need to knock out is ridiculous. You are slapping in the face of people like me who grind this game, play this game constantly. I want something better for my time. 5,000 is nothing. And I don't get progress towards the Rift when I don't have challenges. So it makes it so I don't want to play the game because I want to feel like I'm getting something for my time. Now, granted, until they nerf it, I still get iridescent shards every single time I progress up another rank, another devotion, however you want to call it. Every time I move up a tier, I get a little. But I'm not using these for much. I don't care too much about cosmetics. There's no characters that I need to buy. Granted, if I'm not a huge fan of what's coming out, I'll use the iridescent shards to buy the character. If it isn't licensed. Because as we know, anything that isn't licensed can be bought with iridescent shards. Killer, survivor, your cosmetics. These will just keep stacking up until something happens and they nerf that down. Or they get rid of this. They're going to have whatever reason they're going to have to do what they do with this game. And it will never make a rhyme or reason for most of us that have common sense. You know, rank reset every month. If it wasn't for my everyday life right now being extremely hectic and busy, both of these would be red rank 1. I can easily get it. It's not an issue because I grind this game. I play this game every day trying to make content, trying to, just enjoy myself, knock out challenges, or just try fun new builds, or, meme builds, anything that I could think would be a little entertaining and throw the survivors off. But that means I play a lot of games. I wait in queues a lot as killer. And when I get a match, I want to feel like when it's done, I'm getting a reward for it. So when I grind everything out and I get all the multiple recolors and reskins of the Deep Rift, they're not anything I'm going to use. Those don't matter to me. But when I hit this point and I'm at level infinite, you're only going to give me 5,000. You're only going to give players like me this measly 5,000. Give us something. You know, do something better. You're handing out 50K every day as a login event and the periodic cosmetic. Make this random. Either, make it so it goes up. Give people like me, like other people out there that grind this game, that will continue to play it. I'm not getting progress for each individual match that I play, or the first killer match of the day, or the first survivor match of the day. I'm not getting any bonus for playing those matches. There's really no reason for me to grind the game, outside of trying to. So if, let's say, I get a couple decent matches, and I have what I need to at least up a video when I have the free time to play, I've got no other reason to play this game. I've got no reason to grind it out because you're spitting in my face with this 5,000. We know you can see everything that we do. You know all the cosmetics that we own. You know the characters that we play. You know the characters that we don't play. This could be random reskins for original characters. Like when we go into the shop and let's look at my main for the most part, my survivor main. When we were to take a look at Ace, what do we always see? You have reskins of the base. You could give us a piece of that. It's not anything excessive, or even like green tier and down as far as rarity goes. Or common. These are all common. This is green. Give us a random cosmetic. Give us iridescent shards. I understand you'll never give out auric cells because that's a part of making money, and that's perfectly fine. But give us something. 15K, a random shoe for Ace. a head for Nia, a body for Fang. Even on the killer side, you could swap it up. Just give us something. There are all these different reskins and regular things out there that people might not have. You know, just something to say, hey, we appreciate you. We understand you grind the game, and this is our thanks to you for it. I don't feel it'll ever happen, but this 5,000 that you're giving us every single match, day in and day out, when we hit that 100 and progress in the next infinite tier, you're not doing anything for your long-term players. You're creating a pain point. Outside of the people who, live stream and grind this game to an audience and get paid to play the game, when you're a nobody, your average Joe Blow like me, what reason would you have to continue playing the game? You're getting nothing for it. You get more than 5K in most matches unless you get absolutely stomped on either side. You're guaranteed to come out with at least a couple thousand, even if it's a 4K at 5 gens, depending on how well you ran or or on the other side, if you just get absolutely gen rushed, you still can get more than 5K in just one match on the killer side of things. So, I mean, my suggestion would really be behavior at the end of the day when we're at that infinite amount. Since you're not benefiting us long term dedicated players, give us something better than 5,000. I cannot be the only one frustrated with only getting that little amount. Now, granted, yeah, I don't have right now a reason to spend blood points. I've got plenty of add ons. All my killers are all P3. All the ones that I play are above P3. I'm not running out of anything. I have what I need and it'll all just sit here. So once I hit the blood point gap of 5 million, which will not be hard, I hit it multiple times and have to spend a couple 100,000 or 500,000 blood points on a random killer or a random survivor just to work my way back to it. I'm wasting blood points because I get them. You know, I'm sure there are more people out there like me that have played this game, that have everything. They have all their survivors where they need to be. They've got the perks unlocked. They've got their main person that they like to play. And they've got no reason to just waste. So the blood points just sit there and go to waste. If you could come up with something better for us killers and us survivors, that would be great. I'm sure a lot of us would appreciate just that simple gesture of, hey, well, you know what? Here's a pair of shorts. Here's 30,000. Whatever you deem won't cause you a financial burden. Because we know at the end of the day, you're not going to do anything that hurts your pocket. You're not fixing things that are broken. You hear the bugs that are put out there by numerous content creators. They're all over YouTube. The hackers are there. 90% of the issues brought up to you fall on deaf ears, and you only listen to the people that yell and scream the loudest and just do your own thing. That's fine, but us long-term players are gonna get sick of it. I know I'm relatively sick of it, but you have me by the balls. I like keeping the game at 100%. I enjoy playing this game. So I put up with the ridiculous things that you do and the things that don't make sense, like your add-on changes, your perk changes. I adapt and I keep playing. And I try to find new ways to mess with people when they adjust to the shifting meta. It's a lot of fun to try and come up with counter builds to go up against them. But eventually it's going to get old. And when you get to the point that I'm at, and I know I've already said it once or twice, there's no reason to keep playing. I'm not getting anything in the Rift. I have nothing new to earn. Your challenges in the Rift, for your daily quests, are not unique. Sure, I was kind of shocked to see interrupt and grab a survivor in this most current set. I didn't expect something that complicated. Your Timmies and little Jimmies, your Susies that are coming in brand new to this game, they're not going to know how to interrupt and grab a survivor. They're not going to be able to hide themselves to get up at the right time, yoink them off a gen, or they're not going to know that you need to injure the survivor and then stay close behind them to wait for them to vault a window to be able to yoink them off the window. Your Timmies and Susies aren't going to know how to do that, whereas your more experienced players will. So that's one that I will give you. I will thank you for that. That was at least unique and different, but that could still be done with any killer. Let's bring back some of the creativity and originality that this game used to have before you've decided this is Fortnite of, the horror genre. We're just going to make it easily accessible for every single player to maximize our profit and focus on the dollar over the gameplay experience. So, if we can just get a little bit more for the infinite tier, something. If we could get some unique challenges back into the game. And I understand the quest system is brand new, you're just trying it out, but we know from past experience when you take the time to implement something, even if it utterly sucks, you don't roll back on it. Not for a long period of time until lots and lots of people complain about it. You see your revenues drop. That's the only time you make adjustments to things in this game. So, as a suggestion, try and do something for us. We are your player base. We are the ones that are buying the cosmetics. We are buying the chapters. We play your game. We put in our time. Your new people will come and go because little Jimmies and Timmies, the Susies and the Sallys, don't last. They may have some friends that play the game and they can have a little bit of fun, but when they get into solo queue, they're gone. On the same side, on the killer side, you got the guys that in the beginning they're going just up against low MMR players. They're barely running into Swifts that have a plan, that know how to play the game. Once little Trapper Tommy gets out there and he has to deal with his Swifts that are running flashbang. They've got flashlights, breakout, any number of tactics that Sabo squads and other bully squads, so to speak, use. They're gone. You're no longer going to get their money, but us, the ones who grind this game every single day, knock out your challenges every single day. We are the ones you need to focus on. Granted, if you make the game good for us and we keep playing and we keep hopping out content or we tell our friends about it, new cool texts that we can do, or even on the other side, funny bugs that you create. Because we all know every time you do an update, you break this game in some way for some killer. I don't know what you did to Dracula, because in the PTB he was X'd out. We all know what you just did to Nemesis. So it's us, the players who grind this game, that will find your mistakes when it goes live. We'll be the ones to put it out there and show the world. And if it's funny, you're going to see players come and try to do it. So I would hope that you would understand where I'm coming from as a long term player and where other people's are coming through when they bring the pain points and suggestions to you and actually listen to what we are saying and not just focus on the almighty dollar. You've made what you need to, and I'm glad you continue to be able to increase your revenues to go for new and exciting licenses, to keep this long running game going. But eventually it's going to hit a point of stagnation. Power creep, as other people have talked about. There's a lot of things that are going to hurt this game in the future. The biggest thing that will hurt this game is you not focusing on the player base on both sides and making it so that we feel rewarded for what we do. So I hope this doesn't overly fall on deaf ears. I know it will, but it's one of these things. I've recorded this video multiple times. There's lots of cussing and other versions of it. And I've decided to do a little bit calmer of a version of it, just to hope that it gets out there a little bit more and it sounds a little bit better put together when I put it up. But that's just the opinion of one of many longtime players of this game. And I thank y'all for taking the time to listen to my little rambling, rantish style, you know, topic here. If I'm wrong on what I brought up, by all means tell me. Let me have your opinion. Granted, my opinion's my own. I'm not going to change it. If you've got something relative in counter to what I'm coming up with here, the suggestions I'm putting forward, by all means tell me. But I don't think I am off on my opinion or what I'm seeing in the game. So, once again, thank you, and I hope you have a good day.